Well, good morning from Sequim, Washington. This is just going to be a quick stop. I'm going to look around a little bit and then I'm going to head towards Port Angeles. The mountains often are the Olympic mountain range. So the Olympic Discovery Trail cuts straight through Sequim and you just use the sidewalks. I almost missed the sign though. Like I said, this was just going to be a real quick tour of Sequim, so I'm going to start moving on towards Port Angeles. Alright, I'm a little ways out of Sequim, Washington at the Robin Hill Farm. It's a county park, but there's also like a demonstration farm or experimental farm here. So since I'm here, I'm going to check that out. But I'm going to hike on the Discovery Trail a little bit and then we'll head back to the farm. Well, I'm back on the county park, and there seems to be quite a bit of hiking, biking, and horse trails back here. So I'm exploring some of these trails, and then we'll finally get to the farm. So here is the demonstration farm. Alright, I'm picking up the Olympic Discovery Trail just outside of Port Angeles, Washington. This is the Morse Creek Trestle, and I'm going to wander down the Discovery Trail for a little bit, then I'll come back and I'll check out the creek a little bit. Well, I hiked way more than I anticipated, made it all the way out to the Strait. Port Angeles is straight ahead, might be a little hard to see. And then over there is Canada, Vancouver Island. And then way off in the distance is Mount Baker. We're back at Morse Creek. Well, right by the Morris Creek Trestle, there's this fish and wildlife facility. I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. It looks pretty run down, but I'm gonna start heading into Port Angeles now. All right, I'm in Port Angeles now, and I'm on this public pier, which is on the east side of the waterfront. I'm gonna walk down here, and then there's a spot that I can get onto the Olympic Discovery Trail nearby. So we'll go on that, walk down the trail for a little bit, and then we'll check out the rest of the city. This is the Blackball Ferry Terminal. I ended up wrapping up filming for the day here so that I could start fresh in the morning. Well, good morning. I'm still in Port Angeles, Washington. Yesterday it got really windy, so I decided to take the rest of the day off. But I'm continuing the tour of Port Angeles, and then we'll head out of here. I'm continuing the tour down the waterfront, and this is at the east end of Railroad Street. This is the end of the touristy portion of the waterfront. I have a little observation deck. Once you get beyond here, it gets more into industrial. From here, I headed into the downtown area. So it's just in time to catch the ferry departing Port Angeles. Now this is the Blackball Ferry Line. It's one of the last remaining private ferry lines in the area. At one time, the Blackball Ferry Line was basically the main provider of ferry services in the Puget Sound. However, in the 50s and 60s, the Washington Department of Transportation and the BC Ferries purchased all the assets from the Blackball Ferry Line and took over operations. But this ferry is headed to Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. I walked a couple blocks from downtown Port Angeles to get this shot of the Strait of Juan De Fuca. But this is going to wrap up the section between Sequim and Port Angeles of the Strait of Juan De Fuca, so I want to thank you for watching.